Dun, 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 dun. This is the champions. How's it going, football fans around the world? Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from that amazing singing, I actually used to be in choir, if you didn't know. It's Champions League time. Super excited. This is the one trophy that, if you don't know, I'm a Man City fan, so I'm absolutely desperate for, and the journey begins here. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is giving you guys my predictions. You catch my breath from that beautiful singing. On the group stages. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's just get straight into it because this is going to be a bit of a long video, I'm guessing. All right, so the first group we're going to start with is Group A. Group A is actually pretty decent. You know, you got Liverpool, Ajax, Napoli, and Rangers. All pretty strong, decent sides here. And of course, we know what Liverpool can do, especially in this tournament. Ajax and, Napoli have their own moments in there. And then we know the history around Rangers. So in that first, let's start from the bottom up. In that bottom spot, I have to go with Rangers here. They're a decent side from Scotland. I'm honestly more of a Celtic fan, but they were actually runners-up in the Europa League final last year. So they're a decent side, but, I just feel like the other three teams are just too strong. I'm not saying they're going to be dead last. I do expect them to maybe pick up some points here and there, but yeah, sorry, I don't see them being ahead of anybody else. Now going into that third spot, I'm going to be going with here Ajax. Ajax lost a lot of players this year, and although they are doing decently well without them, I believe they are still first in their league. When they come and play against the best teams in Europe, they're going to struggle hard, especially without those big players that they had. And they had some success last season, but they lost their manager. They lost their biggest players. I don't really expect to see them putting in another run like we've seen them do in the previous years. So for that third spot in Group A, I'm going with Ajax. Now, this is the interesting part. For that second and first spot, this is tough. This is very, very tough. Typically, I'll just put Liverpool first. I would. But since they started the season off so rough, very uncertain of what's really going on there. The chemistry is just lacking. Things are just not up to Liverpool standards. I can see them maybe dropping off here a bit. But when it comes to Europe, when it goes to European competition, Liverpool are just different gravy. They always seem to turn up. They always seem to put in some amazing performances. So for in that second spot, I'm going to be going with Liverpool. Ooh, tricked you. Nah, but I'm gonna go with Napoli. Even though Napoli have started the season pretty strong, right? So I believe they are second in their league, haven't lost a game yet, but they did pick up 2 draws. And I don't know. I just look at that squad, and it's a good side, but I just don't know if it's better than Liverpool's. And when it comes to Liverpool in European competitions, I expect them, to pick up the pace. And I'm sure with the rocky start that Liverpool have had in the Premier League, I'm sure they're going to want to come out flying here in the Champions. They have a big opportunity to do it, so I'm going to go with Liverpool here, taking that first spot, but it's going to be very, very close. I wouldn't be surprised if Napoli come in and take it. I was so close to put Napoli there, but just looking at the Napoli squad, I'm just thinking, I just don't believe it's better than Liverpool's. I know Liverpool haven't been playing up to standards, but like I said, when it comes to European competitions, they are just different gravy. So that's why I'm going to go with Liverpool in that first spot. Now going into Group B here, it's full of some decent sides here. We got Atletico, Porto, Leverkusen, and Club Brugge. Pretty close in quality. I'd say there's probably one team that probably stands out the most, being Atletico Madrid. So yeah, let's get to it. Going into that fourth spot, I'm going to be going with, I'm actually going to go with Bayern Leverkusen here. Originally, I would have put you guys above Club Brugge, but the reason why I'm putting you guys at the bottom is because you've had a really bad start to the season. That's the first reason. And the second reason is Club Brugge is actually not a bad team. They've been consistently making it into the Champions League for the past few seasons now. I don't know if it's been back to back to back, but I've seen them around. We had them on our group, I believe, last year. They did end up getting last, I believe. But they had some pretty decent performances. They have some quality players. And with a team like Bayern performing so poorly, I can definitely see Club Brugge taking advantage of that and getting just above them. So that's why I've gone for Bayern Leverkusen fourth. And as I was saying, that now makes my third spot pretty obvious. Going into that third spot, I'm going to have to go with Club Brugge here. Nothing against you guys, but I just believe the other 2 teams in this group are a bit better than you. But like I said, I still rate you guys. I mean, that's the reason why I have you. That's the reason why I got you above Bayern, is because you guys are a decent side. You guys have some pretty good players. And with Bayern performing the way they are, I just thought I had to put Club Brugge going into third. Going into second, I'm going to have to go with Porto. And first, of course, obviously, Atletico Madrid. This is another group where I can see things flipping between Porto and Atletico, but I just feel like Atletico have a strong enough side here that they'll just edge Porto here. Although Porto are a very decent side themselves, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they take that first spot, but I'm going to be predicting Atletico to take this group. Now going into Group C, and this is probably the most competitive group of them all. We got Bayern, we got Barcelona, we got Inter, and then we got, excuse me, I can't pronounce this name. Plzen? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I can't pronounce their name, but obviously I'm going to be going with them going dead last. Excuse my lack of knowledge of this team. I'm sorry. I don't really know too much about you, but I'm guessing there's a reason because of that. I'm not saying you are an historical team at all. So like I said, excuse me, but for that reason, I'm guessing you guys are going to come up last. So yeah. Sorry about that if you're a fan of this team. Now, as for the rest of the group, this is where things get very, very interesting. We got Inter Milan, Barcelona, and Bayern. How the hell am I going to predict this correctly? Oh, they're very strong sides. Very, very strong sides. Yeah, this is a tough one. But I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for Inter Milan third, Bayern second, and Barcelona first. Now, I know this is a shock. I know you're thinking, Barcelona first over Bayern? Are you crazy? Maybe a little bit. But the reason why I'm going for this is I'm just expecting a shocker here. I'm not saying that I believe Barcelona are the better team than Bayern, but I just feel like it's going to be very close. You know, Barcelona have made some great signings, and for some reason I have a feeling Barcelona here might be one of the dark horses in the tournament. Now I know that statement alone sounds crazy because Barcelona and their history and how they do in this tournament. Why would they ever be a dark horse? But as we've known, Barcelona haven't been Barcelona for the past 2-3 years, right? They've had some pretty dark times. They haven't looked the same, but they're looking a lot better here. They got Lewandowski up top himself. They've made some great signings in the defense. They have a decent midfield. I can see Barcelona coming here and taking this group by storm. I'm not saying they're going to absolutely dominate, but I can see them maybe taking the group just by maybe goal differential. And I don't know. We know Bayern's team is absolutely sick. They always dominate in this tournament, and they're always one of the favorites to win this tournament. I'm just expecting a little bit of a shock here, and I'm going to go on a wild one here, and I'm going to say Barcelona takes this group. I may regret this. The first match that they end up playing against each other, but I'm gonna go on a wild one here. So sorry, Bayern fans, it's nothing personal. I just think something different might happen. Now going into Group D, this is a group of Tottenham, Frankfurt, Sporting, and Marseille. Another decent group. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking Tottenham should dominate this group and should take it, but who knows? Tottenham in this tournament aren't the greatest. They are a good side. It's ironic that I'm saying that because they knocked my team last time we faced them. But Tottenham don't have any really great history here, right? So I'm not saying it's going to be I'm not going to say that's going to be for sure that Tottenham take this group. But let me just get into my prediction. So it's a tough one because all these teams are pretty close and level here. Wow. Okay, so we got Europa League champions Frankfurt. Sporting, I don't really know how they're doing this year. I haven't looked at their squad. Probably should have. Marseille. I'm going to go Sporting last, Marseille third, Frankfurt second, and Tottenham first. The reason why I believe Tottenham are going to take this group is because obviously on paper, I think they have the best squad. They have a really dangerous attacking trio. Although they haven't been lighting up as we thought they would be, I believe they're going to get it going soon. Harry Kane has done decent. Heung-min Son has had yet to really find his feet, but once he does, we know he's going to start going nuts. And Kulusevski, we know his talent and we know what he has in the chamber. So I'm going to say Tottenham take this group, but it's going to be close. We got Frankfurt, the Europa League champions, another very strong side. They're going to make it hard. These teams are going to make it hard for Tottenham for sure, but I'm just telling me that they're still going to take that group. So those are my predictions on that. Now going into Group E, this is a group of Chelsea, Salzburg, Dynamo, and Milan. This is a decent group. I think we for sure know who's going to be taking those first two spots, but in what order. So going in for fourth, I'm going to go for Dynamo. You know, they're another team who's been around in the Champions League. They always seem to be the team that ends up being last. So I'm going to predict the same day here. They're going to be last. They may take a few points off of, you know, they may get a draw here and there, but nothing too crazy. Going into third, I'm going to go for Salzburg. And then going in for second, I'm going to go for... Ooh, I'm really interested in this group to see who takes first. I like Milan a lot. I was a Ronaldinho fan growing up. He's who made me fall in love with football. So I like Milan a lot, and I'm loving the recent success that they've had. But do they have the team to edge Chelsea here? So although they're doing well, they were quite a bit of a disappointment last season, right? They're in that group with Liverpool, and I was hoping that they would make it out, but they actually didn't. So yes, okay, I'm going to go with Milan second and Chelsea first. I was tempted to go Milan first, but just because they, you know, they're just starting to come back, you know, their first year back in the Champions League for a while was last season. They didn't make it out the group, but this season I do expect them to make it, but I'm not going to say they're going to take top here. I know Chelsea have their own struggles, but I'm still confident that Chelsea will get it together in the Champions League, and they're going to take that group. So that's my predictions for Group E. Now, Group F. Wow, we got Real Madrid, Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Celtic. All decent sides here, but Real Madrid, European champions for the 14th time. I usually go from bottom up, but I'm gonna go ahead. They're taking top. No disrespect to the other teams, but this is Real Madrid here. We're talking about Champions League royalty right here. Yeah, and they're looking better than, honestly, to me, they're looking better than they were last year. Last year, I didn't actually rate them that well. I thought, you know, they obviously had a 6-side. Benzema was actually going nuts, but in terms of overall team and the overall players they have, I think they're looking a bit better this year. I'm not saying that they're going to for sure win the Champions League because of that, but I feel like as all-around team, they're looking a bit better. So, yeah, they're going to take the group. Now, going into fourth, I'm going to go with Shakhtar for that third spot. I'm going to go for Celtic. Up the Celtics. I got a lot of friends who are from Ireland, and they all love Celtic. Kind of turned me into a Celtic supporter themselves. I mean, that's where I got this Scottish flag from. As much as I want to put Celtic second, I don't quite think they're going to do that. But I'm confident that they can get third, get into that Europa League tournament, and maybe do some damage there. So Celtic third, Leipzig second, and as I already said, Real Madrid first. Now into Group G. This is the group I'm obviously have my tied to, my team, Manchester City, then Sevilla, Dortmund, and Copenhagen. Yeah, Copenhagen. All right, so this is another decent group, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna say Man City first here. Obviously, I'm not saying this is my team, but I mean, if we're looking at levels here, Man City are obviously on a different level than Sevilla, and Dortmund. I know Sevilla have their own history when it comes to Euro competitions, but that's in the Europa League and the Champions League. They don't have that much success. I know we don't have that much success either, but when it comes to group stage, we always top the group. And yeah, I'm saying we're going to do it again, especially if we want to be taken seriously in this tournament and we want to consider ourselves one of the favorites. We have to take this group by storm. Yeah, I'm predicting Manchester City to top this group. Now, for the fourth, Copenhagen. But now for the third and second, that's where things get interesting. Who's going to make it out this group with Manchester City, and who's going to be possibly sent to the Europa League? It's a tough one. Don't know who to go for here. Last year's form, I would say this could be difficult. But one team here has had a good start to the season and one team hasn't. Now, I know things could be totally switched because they both still have quality players, but I'm going to go with Dortmund second, and I'm going to go with Sevilla third. The reason why I've chosen this is because Sevilla have had a very, very, very bad start to the season. Dortmund, the opposite. They've won 4, only lost 1. They're second in the league above their rivals Bayern. And as for Sevilla, they've already lost 2 or 3 here. They just took a big L to Barcelona. Sorry, Sevilla. I know you guys have a decent side, but I just don't see you guys making it out of the group. Now, going into the final group, Group H. This has PSG, Juventus, Benfica, and this is another team I don't quite know. I apologize. I don't even want to try to pronounce it. It's Haifa, Haifa. Excuse my Americanness, but yeah, those are the teams. Those are the teams in the final group. PSG, Juventus, Benfica. I think those are the serious contenders. But I'm gonna go Haifa, however you say it. Sorry, excuse my my lack of knowledge. Going into the third, I'm gonna go with Benfica. I know you guys have a decent side, but you guys lost some big players like Nunes, and yeah, I just don't see you guys making it out of this group. Juventus second and PSG first. The reason why I've gone with PSG is because I think on paper they have the better side, and I know it's just the French league, and I know the French league gets its big criticism as people like to call them. They're the Farmers League. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but they are a weaker league. But I still think PSG have been looking quite good here. I know they've had some of their. I know they always have their same drama, when it comes to Mbappe, Messi, Neymar. But I expect them to get it done here. They're looking good. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe are looking hungry, so I expect them to come out of this group up top. Juventus second, and those are my Champions League group predictions. So we look at them. I think I've done pretty decent here. I think the only few ones that I could be possibly wrong here is maybe if Inter makes a surprise, or if Sevilla maybe starts picking up form and they maybe get something over Dortmund. But other than that, I think my predictions are pretty strong. But yeah, those are my predictions. As I've said, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If there's anything you disagree on, who's your guys' dark horse? Who's the favorite going into this tournament? And who do you believe by the end of this year is going to come out on top as Champions League winners? Please like this video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon.